Obi was some of our months. I said it will my bomb to go to grow. I hope it in your home in the city go to any guy. This is fine to set up a town. Yeah, to be back in your palace. I want this situation to from my saying the 29 to
Accra. Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
It's midday. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the holiday edition of the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Martin Loeb in Adabraka, Accra. The news is also live on all our partner stations across the country and around the world. We are live on citinewsroom.com. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Coming up, 67th Independence Anniversary Parade underway at Koforidua Youth Resource Center in the Eastern Region on the theme, Our Democracy, Our Pride. Meanwhile, the opposition NDC has pledged its commitment to building the Ghana envisioned by the country's founding leaders.
We'd like to assure the people of Ghana that under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as President again of this country, we will prioritize hardship and putting food on the table of all Ghanaians.
Also coming up, Ministry of Education denies claims of spending 68.5 million cedis on photocopying past questions for candidates of the WASSCE exams. And later, we bring you a report on Ghana's first rage room and its potential impact on addressing mental health crisis.
I feel like I'm the kind of person that I'm always angry. So I need this every day. It's like a therapy. You know, I do talk to my therapist, but then this is way better.
And later in the news, we touch base with patrons of the Heritage Caravan on day 4 as they make their way to the beautiful Kintampo waterfalls in the Bono East region.
I'm not really afraid of heights, so I believe that canopy walkway would also going to help me to overcome that fear.
Looking forward to seeing what the place looks like, experience the people, experience what the waterfall looks like.
All that and more on Citi Prime News, which is live on all affiliates across the country. In the Western region, we are live on Beach FM 105.5 in Takrady, Bono region, Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyani, Ashanti region, Focus FM 94.3 in Kumasi, Orange FM 107.9 also in Kumasi. Volta region, we are live on Revival FM 99.3 in Tajewu, Northern region, Radio Bimbala 91.9 in Bimbala, Upper East, Tanga FM 93.7 in Bolga Tanga, Upper West. We are live on Tonsong FM 97.3 in Wa and Jurapa FM 96.1 in Jurapa.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for choosing us. Let's begin the bulletin from the Eastern region, where President Akufo-Addo, Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara, members of parliament, and a host of other dignitaries, including diplomats, are currently gathered at the Youth Resource Center in Koforidua as Ghana marks its 67th Independence Day anniversary. The day is usually marked with a number of activities, including national, regional, and district parades across the country. This year's celebration is on the theme, Our Democracy, Our Pride. We'll be going live to the Eastern region shortly and speak to our correspondent, Neoni Amate Kanako, who is joining us from the newly commissioned Youth Resource Center in Koforidua. Good afternoon to you, Neil. Thank you for joining us. How far has the celebration gone?
Thank you very much, Hawa. Currently, the celebration is still ongoing. The president and the Inspector General of Police and the CDS have inspected the parade. As we speak now, we are having some performances from a section of the schools represented here. Now, a number of dignitaries have to be now this particular 67th event We have 21 contingents made up of the various security agencies. We have 11 schools in the region. 16 regional capitals are ably represented here, and 18 groupings are also present here with full display of accoutrements from the Ghana Air Force, Ghana Army Police Service. Currently, as we speak, we are yet to witness a rappelling from the helicopter by troops from the 64 Infantry Regiment. We are also yet to witness equipment displayed by the Ghana Armed Forces, Ghana Police Service, the Ghana National Fire Service, Ghana Ambulance Service, Military Physical Training PT Mobile Physical Display. We are also going to have that is a march past by the Ghana Armed Forces and other security agencies to have trooping of the mass band, Armed Forces Central Band, and police. Before we have a 21 gun salute fly past by the Ghana Air Force, and then we'll take a remark from the special guest of honor who happens to be the president of Ivory Coast, that is Hassan, Excellency Hassan Dramani Ouattara, before the president delivers the Independence Day address, and then we'll have the yellow and then color party will march on, and then we'll depart from this place. It's been a colorful event with youth cultural display from the 11 paramounties that we have here in the Eastern region. We have people coming from representing the Tobo block. We have some people display who is currently ongoing. You can hear from the background. A lot of dignitaries, a lot of diplomats are all here witnessing the 67th Independence Day celebration. It's been an awesome event for the people of Cocoribia, especially the school-going population who have gathered within the Hamas here to witness the first ever Independence Day celebration, national celebration being held here in the Eastern region. We shouldn't forget this happens to be the very last Independence Day being celebrated by the president who happens to be a son of the land from the city here, hence why the 67th Independence Day is being observed here in the Eastern Regional Capital of Cocoribia, Power.
Thank you very much, Kanako. We'll come back to you subsequently when the president and the invited guests do make a statement. But that was our Eastern Regional correspondent, Neoni Amati Kanako, reporting from the Koforidua Youth Resource Center, where the country is marking its 67th Independence Anniversary Parade. Now, still on that, in the Klote municipality here in Accra, the Member of Parliament for the area, Dr. Zanato Ajuman-Rawlings, has issued a fervent call to all citizens to champion, safeguard and cherish democracy in Ghana. During the 67th Independence Day celebration at the Accra High School, the MP also urged all stakeholders to uphold the sanctity of peaceful and transparent elections.
Imagine the Ghana that you want, and let's make it happen, individually and collectively. At a time when we have the theme about our democracy, our pride, globally, democracy is facing an existential crisis. And we must ask ourselves why we're seeing a lot of reversals in democratic rule across the continent. And look deep and make sure that individually and collectively, we are all ensuring that the pillars of good governance are being adhered to in order to protect and preserve this democracy that we enjoy here as a country. We are in our fourth republic, and hopefully the last we will be naming, so that we don't have to call it the fourth, it will just be our republic. We've seen several transitions of power, peaceful ones, and we hope and pray that all individuals and all personnel will help to protect the sanctity of our elections this year and make sure that we have a free and fair process come the 7th of December this year.
Dr. Zanato Ajuman-Rawlings is Member of Parliament for Klote. Now, still on the anniversary parade, the opposition NDC has reaffirmed its pledge to build the Ghana the country's founding fathers dreamed of if it gets the nod in the 2024 elections. In a statement extending congratulations to Ghanaians on the occasion of its 67th Independence Day, the party expressed its commitment to implementing policies aimed at generating employment, fostering economic growth, and enhancing the well-being of the citizenry. The party asserted that it will exert relentless effort to instill hope and confidence in the future of the nation. Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Gbandi, has been speaking to Citi News.
The statement is to commemorate with Ghanaians as we celebrate 67 years of our independence. And it's quite important that the NDC will associate itself to the suffering Ghanaian and the Ghanaian who was left by government without any concern or care. You remember that in the last 7 years of President Akufo-Addo's reign, it's been one day, one scandal, 1 week, one scandal, high level of corruption. For the first time in the history of our country, government is not able to pay or honor its external debt obligations. It's also important that we remark that the NDC, in pursuit of this growth and success of our country, intends to be committed and has always been committed to the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian. We'd like to assure the people of Ghana that under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, as president again of this country, we will prioritize hardship and putting food on the table of all Ghanaians. We also want to use this occasion to remember all those who have struggled to see nation Ghana rule as it has become. The party intends to do this by, first of all, ensuring that we reduce corruption, increase public accountability, and then bring down policies that are friendly to the average Ghanaian, creating more jobs. You've heard of a big agenda or our big idea of the package 24-hour economy. When you declassify that policy, you find that there's a huge component that addresses the appreciation unemployment situation in our country.
Mustafa Gbandi is Deputy General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, NDC. Now, as the country celebrates its 67th Independence Day anniversary today, the government faces increasing pressure to implement measures that will accelerate economic growth. Economist Professor John Gachi emphasized that the country must reflect the rhetoric of political independence.
We take debt, we are not able to manage the debt. We don't take debt to produce assets. We take debt to consume and then just take a fraction to put up some assets. We make a lot of noise about those simple assets that we have created for the country. So I would say it has been undulating when it comes to the economy. And that we also, because we have not been able to be steady and consistent in building the economy, we tend to rely heavily on development finance from the World Bank and other institutions, and they tend to dictate to us. In the past, they were dictating to us in terms of production and that collapsed our industries and etc. That is why we have found ourselves, and we need to start all over, building the country, creating asset base for the country. So we need to start building the country, intentionally building the country. Aspiration of our forefathers and then our aspiration of our statesmen is to see an economy that will create happiness among the people.
That was economist Professor John Gachi. The Ministry of Education has vehemently denied claims of spending 68.5 million cedis on photocopying past questions for candidates of the West Africa Senior School Certificate Examinations. The Ministry of Education allegedly incurred a cost of 33.6 million cedis in 2020 and over 34 million cedis in 2021 for this purpose, both through single-source procurement. The Minister of Education, Dr. Yawase Educhum, disclosed on Monday in Parliament that the government spent the money to photocopy past questions for SHS students to help them prepare adequately for the exams. According to him, the government procured the past questions from Kingdom Books and Stationery at a unit price of 78 cedis during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic as part of its effort to help students ahead of the WASI. However, in a Facebook post, the public relations officer of the Education Ministry, Kwesi Kwarteng, said the mentioned amount were not for photocopying, but rather for the printing, supply, and distribution of the revision books. You are still listening to the holiday edition of the Citi Prime News. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Still to come, we'll touch base with patrons of the Heritage Caravan on day 4 as they make their way to the beautiful Kintampo waterfalls in the Bono East region. Please do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for staying with us. Now, rage rooms are gaining popularity worldwide, particularly among young people, offering a unique therapy to express anger and frustration. From smashing television sets to breaking bottles, this concept provides a safe outlet for stress relief without harming oneself or others. Citi News' Fauzu Masaudu explores Ghana's first rage room and its potential impact on addressing mental health crisis.
Rage rooms rose to prominence in 2008 when the late American anti-violence activist Donald Alexander created a 1,000 square foot facility using salvaged items to provide a safe space for managing aggression. Despite initial skepticism, rage rooms have become a preferred therapy, especially in Western countries, reshaping approaches to psychological issues. In Africa, skepticism persists due to misconceptions about mental health, but Ofori Ofe, founder of Ghana's first rage room, sees its potential for crisis intervention.
We in Ghana, for Africa in general, we don't really, how shall I say, appreciate or even think about mental health to start with. If you go and tell someone you take a mental health break, it will be like, who be this guy? Who you think say you will take a mental health break? Come back to work or some things like that, They don't really care about the mental health. So I was like, it makes sense. We are going through a whole lot, especially this last 4 years or 3 years that we've been in, whatever it is we've been in. Exactly, from COVID to economy and blah, blah, blah and all that. I felt like people needed, an avenue or venue to, release all that pent-up anger, all that pent-up road rage, all that pent-up economic stress, all that pent-up financial stress, all that heartbreak, all that breakfast, all of that. I felt like people needed a place too that they can, release and be themselves.
Well, you may be incredibly stressed that you want to scream, throw a rock through the window, or just maybe wrestle a bear. In interviews, customers like Anne-Marie, not her real name, share how rage room sessions help them cope with persistent fury.
I feel like I'm the kind of person that I'm always angry. So I need this every day. It's like a therapy. I do talk to my therapist, but then this is way better, so it's better than me messing up someone's face in the street. So, yeah, I prefer this one. You stay out of trouble and out of crime.
Customers pay a fee, sign waivers, and receive safety gear before accessing the facility.
Before you start anything, you'd have to sign a waiver. So they'll give you a waiver, you scan the barcode, and you sign the waiver, and then we gear you up. So we're going to have you in an overall, which is a full overall from head to toe, protecting you, a mask as well, a face mask protecting your whole face, your lip, everywhere, a neck protector as well, and then some gloves as well.
Data from the Ghana Mental Health Authority and the World Health Organization indicates a significant portion of Ghanaians suffer from mental disorders, over 3 million, prompting discussions on sustainable solutions. Of this, over 16,000 of the cases reported are severe. While rage rooms offer temporary relief, the Ghana Mental Health Authority emphasizes the need for long-term strategies.
Coming from the mental health practitioner's perspective, there is, yes, the initial sense of relief or release once someone who has pent-up anger, stress, frustration, finds by releasing this, using this modality, it can give some immediate relief. So something happened, you're really frustrated, you go in, you release that energy by that modality. It may give some relief. But then if you're thinking long-term, to address concerns that are persistent, that are driving, then it may not really be the modality I would advise anyone uses solely to address the condition, because you would want to look into the main drivers, the main themes that are driving this for emotions that the person is experiencing, and then give him healthy coping strategies.
The emergence of rage rooms in Ghana and Africa, from all intents and purpose, has been clouded with several questions. But for mental health experts, this innovation may just be the solution they are looking for in addressing the litany of mental health concerns in Ghana and the continent. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Fauzu Masaudu, Accra.
Now to some other stories, some Ghanaians have expressed optimism about the completion of the National Cathedral before President Akufo-Addo's term ends. Work has been halted at the construction site for the past few months. The Member of Parliament for North Town, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, is expected to hold a press conference at the construction site of the National Cathedral this afternoon. During the presentation of the 2021 budget to Parliament, the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta assured of the government's commitment to completing and commissioning the project on March 6, 2024, after an investment of $58 million was assigned to the project. Upon visiting the site, Citi News observed that work was yet to commence beyond the foundation level. Meanwhile, Deloitte is yet to make its findings public after the firm was tasked with auditing the affairs of the board. Some Ghanaians have been speaking to Citi News on what they make of the project.
The National Cathedral, but they are not done, right? They foresee the future is going to be done soon. Our expectations have not met, so we still keep our hope in the Lord.
From the scratch, it's not easy. But when you get to the lintel, trust me, you're going to do it. I believe in my president, Akufo-Addo. They are not Addo sugar guy, man. I believe you do it. I vividly believe, say, we have better plans for this thing. Because he promised God that he has 10 months right away from now. I believe my president, Anado guy, I will fulfill our trust.
To say they've kept to their word, no, because they're still at the foundation level and it's supposed to be commissioned tomorrow, which is, so this is a work not done and I'm very disappointed. So
it is just the excavation. After the excavation, nothing has been done again. I'm a curious myself, a quantity surveyor, and then looking at what they've done so far, apart from the excavation, nothing has been done again. So I've seen no reason why 58 million cedi should be used for just excavation.
Those were some Ghanaians expressing optimism about the completion of the National Cathedral before President Akufo-Addo's term ends next year. Let's now take you to the Bono East region, where patrons of the Heritage Caravan have arrived at the Kintampo Waterfalls. Let's go live to the phone lines and speak to my colleague Kennedy Chumesi for more. Good afternoon to you, Kennedy. Thank you for your time. Now, we have seen the beautiful pictures from the Usbet Hotel at Sunyani. Tell us more before you took off from the Usbet Hotel to your current location.
Yeah, so at the Usbet Hotel, that's where we lodged and spent the night. We had dinner there, and we also had to experience another nightclub experience there too as well. So we had much fun there, spent the night there, and then we set off to the Kintampo Waterfalls. That's where, as I speak to you, we are at the moment. And at this very place, I don't know if you can hear from the background, the music is popping and everybody is enjoying. We are the Kintampo Waterfalls. It's one of the highest waterfalls in Ghana, located on the Pumpum River, a tributary of the Black Butter. And then the waterfalls is one of the main natural attractions in the area. It falls about 70 meters and it takes its source at a village called Pumpum Metisi, which is about 10 kilometers away from the waterfalls. Now, before we got to this falls, the tour guide in charge who spoke to us and gave us a brief history about the place, told us that before you reach the main Kintampo waterfalls, you would have to go through some sort of what I would describe as 3 mini falls before you get to the main Kintampo waterfalls. And trust me, Howard, the experience so far has been marvelous. Caravanites have expressed their satisfaction so far. We are just day 4 through out of the 8 days, and already some are already exhausted, but there's more energy to pass through the other 4 days left. Some of the caravanites have also expressed their happiness, indicating that some of them have not been here before in Kintampo before, and even in the Bono East to a large extent. Interacting with some of the locals here, they've indicated their happiness and learning new stuff about the Kintampo waterfalls. And even with the waterfalls, people were advised to bath in the falls because it serves as a source of massage for these caravanners because of the the length that they'll be going throughout this for these 8 days. They've been advised to bath in the water to help them massage. And even that was even advised by the tour guide that if you go beneath the water and you bath, it will help massage you for the rest of the journey ahead. So far, this is the situation here at the Kintampo waterfalls. There's also a side attraction, which is the canopy walkway. Now, if you are getting to the Kintampo waterfalls, there are 2 routes. The first one leads straight to the Kintampo waterfalls, and the second one leads to, and then there's another one leading to the canopy walkway, which has 2 lanes. So when you are done exhausting the 2 lanes, that's when there's another route that you use to the Kintampo waterfalls. So for those who are afraid of heights, they did not use the canopy walkway, and they used the route that went straight to the Kintampo waterfalls and enjoy the waterfalls there. But for people like me, I used other caravanites. We used the canopy walkway, experienced it, and then it was fun. And then we came back to use the Kintampo waterfalls as well, and we had fun over there. Now we are moving from here, and we are going to have lunch in the Upper East region. So far, this is the situation on ground here, Hawa.
Grateful for your time. That's my colleague in the Bono East region, Kennedy Chumese, who is currently with the team of this year's 2024 Heritage Caravan. The team is currently at the Kintampo waterfalls. From there, they'll be making their way to the northern part of the country. You can log on to the social media handles of Citi FM, and then you get more pictures and videos from the 2024 Heritage Caravan. Now, away from that, the Home Municipal Chief Executive, Divine Bossing, says the government has supported the municipality with some boreholes to ease the acute water shortage in the area. In February this year, Divine Bossing appealed to the government to help resolve their water crisis and called for the pipelines feeding the municipality to be split at a section to improve service delivery. Speaking with City News, Divine Bossing, the whole MCE, said the government, through its Water for All project, had provided some mechanized boreholes to tackle the water problems in the area.
As part of government policy of Water for All project, government has allocated some number of mechanized boreholes to us. Through Common Fund Administrator, I have been given 70. Through Public Utility Regulation Commission, I have been given about 11. And other means, I would say I have improved within this shortest possible time. I have improved on the water service delivery. But that's just for the short and the medium term. The long term is that we are expecting the expansion and twin service line that we discussed the last time from Akrofu through Sokode to Go. That's what we are doing for the long term.
Divine Bossing is the Home Municipal Chief Executive. The convener of the Affirmative Action Bill Coalition, Sheila Minka Premo, is urging political parties to prioritize female candidates for flag bearer and running mate positions in the 2024 general elections. This call comes ahead of a National Executive Committee meeting of the NDC to discuss the nomination of Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman as running mate to John Dramani Mahama. Sheila Minka Premo says such initiatives would contribute significantly to promoting gender equality in the political landscape.
In Ghana, we've never had a female vice president, neither have we had a female president before. And therefore, the fact that her party has nominated her for the second time for the vice presidency position is very significant. And it shows that she's been found to be a capable woman who has the ability to hold the position of vice president for her party and ultimately Ghana, depending on what the outcome of the elections will be. Our advocacy is that within governance, there's a need to increase the number of men in leadership. And therefore, the fact that her party has brought her up again, I think it's a very good sign. It shows that a woman is going to contest the second time, hopefully for the position of vice president of this country. It's very significant, and it's in line with our call for affirmative action. I'm really hoping that we'll have more women nominated or elected or proposed as vice president. It's about time Ghana did much better than it's done so far. So I would urge all the parties to also consider, if they have a male as their main presidential candidate, they should seriously consider putting in a woman as their vice president. It would help with democracy, it will help with inclusion if we have more women nominated as vice president.
Sheila Minka Premo is the convener of the Affirmative Action Bill Coalition, and that's it for the holiday edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios in Adabraka, Accra. The news was also live across our partner stations. In the Western region, we were live on Beach FM in Tekrade, Bono region, Greener FM in Sunyain, Ashanti region, Focus FM and Orange FM, both in Kumasi. Volta region, Revival FM in Tajiwu, Northern region, Radio Bimbala in Bimbala, Upper East, Tanga FM in Bolga, Tanga. Upper West, we were live on Tunsong FM in Wa and Drapa FM in Drapa. Please log on to citynewsroom.com for more stories. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Thank you very much for doing the listening and do enjoy the rest of your holiday.
City News, we speak first.